Hello and welcome to the first video on the Crows Fan 16 YouTube channel, and today I'll be predicting every AFL game for 2024, starting with Sydney and Melbourne. I think Sydney will win by about 2 goals, or 17 whatever. Brisbane Carlton, I think Brisbane will win. Gold Coast and Richmond, I think Gold Coast will win by about 2 goals or and GWS and Collingwood, I think GWS will actually win by about 20. Carlton and Richmond, I think Carlton will win in a close one by about 4. Collingwood and Sydney, Collingwood should win that. Hawthorn and Essendon, I think Hawthorn will win by 24 points. GWS should comfortably beat North Melbourne. Geelong to beat St Kilda. Crows to win the first game. Melbourne and Bulldogs, I think Melbourne should win. Port Adelaide West Coast, Port Adelaide to thump West Coast. Fremantle Brisbane, I think Fremantle should win that. In fact, in an upset, I think Collingwood will win against St Kilda. The Crows to go 2-0. Fremantle, Melbourne, Sydney to comfortably beat Essendon. The Bulldogs, I think Richmond will get over the line to Port Adelaide. They'll win by about 16. GWS. Here's the ladder after round 3. The Crows, Giants and the Dockers are all undefeated. And Carlton are in 14th? The hell? Let's move on. Round 3. Brisbane, Carlton. I think we'll just win that by about 10 points in a very tight game there. St Kilda, Port Adelaide to slightly get the win. Bulldogs, Richmond to win in a close one. Geelong to win on Easter Monday. The Crows to stay undefeated. North Melbourne to beat Brisbane in a huge upset. Port Adelaide, Sydney, Carlton, Bulldogs. Gold Coast to beat GWS to break their winning streak. The Giants, St Kilda, Collingwood, Melbourne, Bulldogs, GWS. I think we'll lose our winning streak here, so Carlton will win. Gold Coast, Port Adelaide, Geelong, they always beat North Melbourne and Geelong. West Coast to beat Richmond in a huge upset. Bulldogs, Crows to stay in top form. Collingwood, this is going to be a tight game. I think GWS will win. Brisbane and Fremantle. I think Sydney will win that. And Hawthorn. Let's see what the ladder looks like. Okay. Brisbane are 9th. What have I done to them? And the Bulldogs are first. How? Alright, let's move on. Melbourne. Collingwood. Brisbane. Much needed win for them. Puts them in top 8. Port Adelaide. Crows. I think we'll win by a bit more than that. This is going to be a tight one. Carlton. Freo. Gold Coast. Hawthorn. Interesting looking ladder there. And Essendon are still undefeated from their first 7 games. They're going horrible. Ooh, first v second. This is going to be a great showdown. I think the Crows will just get over the line there. Collingwood. Sydney, GWS. I think Sydney will actually win. St Kilda, North Melbourne. I think St Kilda will win a much needed one for them. Melbourne. Essendon to finally get a win, convincingly. Richmond. Bulldogs. Brisbane. So, round 9 now. Melbourne. Geelong. Freo. I think Hawthorn will get over the line there. Essendon with a huge upset. Richmond. Gold Coast. Collingwood. Crows. That is looking very tight. Like, 7 teams have 5 wins. This is going to be exciting. Gold Coast. All of a sudden they're in the 8 after a poor start for them. Sydney. I think we'll lose again. We'll probably get robbed again. GWS. St Kilda. Brisbane. Essendon. Port. Melbourne. Bulldogs. Fremantle win a very good game of footy. Port Adelaide. Carlton. GWS. Richmond. Brisbane. Melbourne. Crows with a thumping win. Port Adelaide. Collingwood. Crows. West Coast with an upset to St Kilda, the struggling St Kilda. Geelong, Melbourne, Gold Coast, Crows, Brisbane, GWS. North Melbourne with a convincing victory, St Kilda. I think Geelong will actually win that. Carlton with a much needed victory there. Collingwood to win on King's birthday. Brisbane Bulldogs. Richmond Crows. Collingwood GWS. Carlton to move up in the 8. Brisbane GWS. Melbourne Essendon. Freo. That's the ladder at the end of round 15. Brisbane, Geelong, Gold Coast in one of the games of the year, beating the reigning premiers, Western Bulldogs, Carlton, Port Adelaide, Sydney. I think GWS will actually win that in an upset. Hawthorn. We never win at the Gabba, so we'll lose that. Collingwood, Geelong, Carlton, Melbourne, North to upset the Suns. St Kilda, Port Adelaide, Fremantle, Collingwood, Gold Coast, Fremantle, Melbourne, GWS, Sydney, Bulldogs, Crows to stay in top form, and Brisbane. Here's the ladder now. Brisbane, Carlton, the Crows, Cats, GWS to stay in touch with the top 4. Hawthorn to do the same thing that they did last year, beating Collingwood at the MCG. St Kilda and Port. Melbourne, Carlton, Collingwood, Brisbane, Melbourne, Geelong, St Kilda, Sydney, the Crows to stay on top of the ladder miraculously. Freo, and there it is. That's the end of round 20 with 4 rounds to go. This is going to get tight. Essendon to give Fremantle a huge fright. Geelong, maybe we might not make the top spot. GWS. North. Brisbane, that's it. Now Brisbane's on top now. And Melbourne, they move up to 3rd. Port, they stay comfortable in the top 8. Gold Coast, stay within touch. Brisbane, Carlton. Actually, I think Hawthorn will win that. Gold Coast, Melbourne, North. St Kilda, Collingwood, Crows, and Freo. It's getting tight. 2 rounds to go. Collingwood. Sydney, Melbourne, GWS, Hawthorn, St Kilda, Bulldogs. I think we'll actually lose this showdown, so... Oh my god. Carlton, last round. Let's see how it is. Oh my god. Either Geelong, Fremantle, Bulldogs, or Gold Coast will make 8th. Let's see what happens here. Brisbane, Carlton, West Coast to one of the games of the ages. Hawthorn, Melbourne, Richmond, and I think we will win that game to make 3rd. Bulldogs and Fremantle to finish it off. Brisbane ends up finishing on top, Melbourne 2nd, both with 18 wins. The Crows, 3rd place, brilliant. Collingwood 4th, GWS 5th, Carlton 6th, Port 7th, Fremantle makes the 8, Bulldogs in 9th, Geelong 10th, Gold Coast 11th, Sydney in 12th, I don't know how, St Kilda 13th, Hawthorn 14th, Richmond 15th, then Essendon 16th, North Melbourne 17th, West Coast last. These won't be my final predictions anyway. My final predictions will be out in about 3 to 4 weeks. So let's do finals anyway. I think Brisbane will beat Collingwood. GWS. Port to choke in finals again. And the Crows to beat Melbourne in the qualifying final. Collingwood to go out in straight sets. Carlton. Carlton. And the Crows. Us, the Crows. I'll be honest here, but we won't win the grand final. So I think Carlton will have more experience and more agility and consistency, and yeah, to win the final, the grand final, and they go out on top. So thank you anyway for watching my video. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please consider subscribing. See you next video.